Alrighty, welcome to the Hangout. This is Stu Sterling from northeastern Japan, and I've got a special guest on this Hangout tonight who is also from Japan. He's in the southwest part of Japan, and you might have heard of him, you might not have. He's been around for a long time though, and he's one of the good guys in the business. I've had the pleasure of meeting him, and it's Kevin Riley. Say hey, Kevin. How are you?
Hi, good. Starting to get a little cooler down here in the southwest.
Yeah, it is here as well. Summer was here and gone very quickly. I'm a little bit spewing that summer was so short. But yeah, thanks for making the time to come on and hang out tonight, Kevin.
Oh, you're welcome.
Yeah, it's we don't really get enough chances to chat, but I figured, why not start, talking with a few more people, getting, more interaction with my audience there on my email list and on my social profiles. So want to give good value, give good content to help people who are getting started with the internet business or have one already but want to improve it.
Exactly.
So yeah, appreciate your time, and hopefully all those listening here will be able to get some good content out of this short little hangout. So Kevin, we're actually in a similar kind of business on the internet, which is helping newbies get started and helping kind of beginners to intermediates grow their business. So tell us a little bit about how you got started online. I know you came to Japan a long time ago. You've been here longer than me. I've been here about 10 years. So tell us a little bit about your story.
Well, I'm going on 18 in October here. So, the whole internet thing started for me way back in 1994. I built the first website back then, a commercial website, and shortly afterwards I left. I was living in Canada at the time. I left Canada, came to Japan to build houses, so I had nothing to do with internet. I didn't even have a computer for the longest time. And I got back into it in about the mid-2000s. I was looking around for what I wanted to do, looked at a couple different business models, but I really wanted something that would allow me to make a good living while I live here in Japan, because I really...
Everything okay?
We're getting playback there.
Serious. Have you got another window open that's playing the Hangout page? Because that might be causing some dramas.
There we go. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I'm still a newbie when it comes to things like Google Hangout. So, anyways, what happened was I looked at a couple different things. I wanted to do something online. Construction kind of died off here in Japan around about 2001. It was really pretty bad before that, and I started looking at other things, and I was working for Berlitz for a while teaching English and stuff. But I was looking at how could I build an online business, but something that allowed me to take off and travel a lot. So I was looking at things like eBay and stuff, and I didn't like that. I was just, I'd have to be here. I'd have to be shipping things. So I really got started online. It was about 2006. First brought out a book, which still sells online. I do nothing to sell it. It's a health book. It's natural health, because I'm really into natural health. And then I kind of got pulled into internet marketing because people kept asking me questions on the Warrior Forum when I was just hanging out there. I was in the off-topic section, actually. And that's how I first got started in 2006. I just, okay, well, if everybody's going to keep asking these questions, I might as well create a product that answers the questions. And that's how I got going into what I do now.
Very cool. So you saw an opportunity there, and you just went with it. That's cool. I didn't actually know that that's how you got started.
Yeah. I actually can pick down to just a few people who kept sending me questions saying, hey, there's a thread open in main discussion, and you really need your expertise in there. Because basically it was offline expertise, and really I took offline stuff and brought it to online. That's all I did. And that's how I got into it. Yeah, it's, and I think that's the same thing we're talking right now, right? We're talking about the newbies or new entrepreneurs, or whatever everybody would like to be called. It's the same thing, when you're looking for what to do online. It's looking for, well, what what suits me? What do I know? What kind of knowledge do I have? What can I bring to this? And how can I bring something different? I saw a big opening because I saw that at that time there was a lot of people who were very smart, really brilliant marketers, but they weren't creating products. It was like brilliant but can't teach. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And I've been teaching for a while, and I know you have too before. So we know what teaching's like, and I thought, oh, I can create a better product that really teaches people, and that's what I did. I just found that opening, and found a gap, and jumped in there.
Yeah, one thing I know about your products, I've seen your products since you first started creating them. They're very, what's the word? Easy to follow. They're very
step by step.
Step by step, yeah.
That's what I like to go for.
But I mean, it goes through the real meat and potatoes of what you need to do. Where a lot of these other products, they kind of only focus on one little part. It might be, how to run Google Hangouts, for example, or how to, run a Facebook page or something like that. But yours, it can help a newbie from the very first step, even if they have never done anything before. It's that detailed, which really got my attention, and I think that's been a big responsible part for your success. Why your products became so popular.
And this is a big takeaway for anybody who's going to be listening to this Hangout, is that it doesn't matter what niche you're in. If you're teaching somebody how to do a great golf swing, which okay, that's really kind of becomes golf and dog training. But okay, I'm drinking a highball here. Let's say you're teaching somebody how to make beer, right? Then what you want to do is you want to go exactly step by step. You don't want to gloss over anything. You want to give them everything they need. You really want to have the meat and potatoes and show them exactly how to do things. I found at the time when I first started that I was looking at a lot of these ebooks that would tell you what to do, but they didn't have any pictures in them. I thought, well, why not? It doesn't cost any extra to have a picture in an electronic book. We're not printing the thing. So I started taking a lot of screenshots, and that's what I do. Like screenshots. If I was teaching how to make beer, I'd be taking a lot of photos. And I've done that too, actually. I do that with a cooking site. Take a lot of photos, show exactly what to do with each step. And this could be taken into any niche. So everybody listening, this is something you should be taking away from this right now. It's very, very important. If you want to create a product that people talk about, that people will tell their friends about, and that they'll come back and buy more of, is to create a product that way. Very step by step.
Yeah, exactly. Very good points. I remember the word now. Comprehensive. Your product is very, very comprehensive.
We live here too long to get some of these English words.
I know, it's killing me. That's why I make sure to read books, English books.
This is the tipping point. Good book, yeah.
Yeah. So keep my English up. If anyone lives overseas in a non-English speaking country, you know exactly what I'm talking about. But all right, Kevin, that's really cool. But in your experience, maybe we have different ideas about this, but in your experience, where do you see that newbies or new people that come online want to start a business, where do they struggle the most?
I think there's a couple things they struggle with. One of them, of course, is information overload. That happens a lot. People don't know what. They jump in. I got to learn this. I got to learn that. I need to know this. I need to know that. And every day that they go on, if they're going onto a forum or they're going, on Facebook, maybe they're hanging out in one of the marketing groups on Facebook or something like that, and they're seeing all these things. You were talking earlier, Facebook ads and YouTube videos and everything. I got to do all this stuff. You don't. That's just the thing. You do not have to do all of that. You want to learn one thing at a time. And that's the thing where a lot of people will get lost, is they just overwhelmed by all this stuff, and then they just can't get going. And it's like, it's like when you sit down and you got way too much to do. But if you sit down and make a list and go, okay, I'm going to do this first, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this, it suddenly becomes really easy to get it done. And I think this is what people need to do, is they need an action plan. That's really, really important, is decide to sit down, create an action plan. I'm going to do this. In fact, I just had it here earlier today. Yeah, there we go. I make to-do lists. And those little check boxes. I love checking off the check boxes. I make them on paper, so they're always somewhere where I can see them, because I have like 3 different computers here. One goes around with me, the others stay here, the other doesn't get used much. So putting on a computer doesn't work for me. Maybe it works for other people. But make a to-do list. I sit down the night before. Usually before I go to bed, I'll sit down and think, oh, what do I get done tomorrow? And put it down on the list, and just go one thing after another. Then you don't get all confused, and you don't know where to get started. And that's one of the biggest things. It's just getting going. And that's too many people who don't, that's where they stumble.
Exactly. And I find I've got my little to-do list here as well. It's not as fancy as yours.
All right.
But, if you don't have one of these, if you don't know what you're going to do that day, it's so easy to procrastinate and waste time and get distracted and, follow, start watching hundreds of YouTube videos or, on my lazy days, that's what I do. And, any days that I don't happen to have a structured to-do list, I find myself getting distracted, and it's a killer. It's really one of the essential things you got to learn when you're working for yourself, because you don't have a boss looking over you, giving you tasks to do.
Yeah, it's you. It's all you, and you've got to be your own boss, and you've got to set yourself a schedule and follow it.
Yeah, very cool. All right, what else in your experience do newbies or other business owner? I don't really like to use the term newbies because I know everyone's not a newbie, but people who are on your list or your customers, what do they come to you with needing help with?
Yeah, one of the biggest things I see, and every time I get this comment or I get this email or I hear from it, it bothers me because I think, you could have avoided that. I get the one where people make excuses, but like, oh well, I couldn't do this, I couldn't do that because a family, something that came up, or I had to go somewhere, I had to do something, or I got sick. And you just can't do that. When you're building a business, you've got to say, okay, I'm committing to this. This is going to get done come hell or high water. And when something, if somebody is, I understand. I know I can hear it. You've got a child in the background, and maybe they get sick. Children get sick more often. And you might find that there's a day there where, I can't get anything done, so I've got the child at home, I'm taking care of him. But I know that my weekly schedule, this is what I've got to get done in my week. So if I can't get it done on this day, that means that another day I'm going to sacrifice a TV show or going out to a movie or going out to dinner. I'm going to sacrifice that and take that time to finish that task, to get done what needs to get done. And that's really, really important, especially when you're first building your business. Like you and I, we've been doing this for a while now, and we can take off for a while. I mean, I can take many days and bugger off, go to the mountains and go hiking and trail running and have fun. But when you're building the business, it's time to just buckle down and do it. And that's really, really important. So I think one thing is making that commitment, really saying, okay, I'm going to commit myself 100% to do this, and let nothing stop you.
Yeah, exactly. Sounds like my kids are having a party next door. But that's, I don't know, they're just about to go to bed. They get a bit excited about bedtime.
Right.
But I totally agree, man. I remember when I first got started online, and I was, for a while there at the beginning, I was kind of half on the fence, half off the fence. Am I going to do this? Am I going to commit to it? Or am I going to, just, put my toe in the water, kind of, test the waters, just do a little bit, half in, half out kind of thing. But I thought, I've got to be all in if I want to get the results, if I want to actually make a career and a lifestyle out of this. Like I used to see on the sales pages, total freedom of time, freedom of money, freedom of, boss or whatever. And fortunately, that has happened to me after a lot of years of hard work, though. But I had to make that mental decision, that conscious decision, that all right, I'm going to do this. I'm not going to half do it. One of my friends who's into drifting, he's in a professional drift league in Japan here. He's got a saying. He's like, go hard or go home. And that's the kind of attitude I think you got to take when it comes to business as well. If you're starting up and becoming your own boss, wouldn't you agree with that?
Yeah, well, that's the gym attitude too. Go heavy or go home. That's exactly what we say too.
Yeah,
it's true. Like, if you're gonna go in there and just piddle around and not really do a workout, why are you even there? You're just getting in the way of those who are actually want to work out.
Yeah.
And it's the same in business, exactly. You can't. You say, I know. I remember when I first met you. Yeah, you were still kind of dipping your toe in the water, and then you got serious, and things started happening. And that's what it takes. You just got to get serious. The thing is, too, is the reward is really worth it. I mean, if it takes you a year of hard work to build your business, making a few sacrifices, maybe you're not watching some of your favorite shows on TV, or maybe you're skipping going out on the weekend, or you may even cancel a weekend with your friends. They're all going off camping, and you decide to stay home and work on your business. It's really worth it, because like last year, I mean, ever since we built this business, we've been traveling all over. But last year we were a month in Europe and didn't touch the internet, and the business paid for it. So it's really worth it to make that sacrifice, to make that commitment, and that's, I think, what people need to do, is just say, okay, I'm going to do it.
Yeah, very good. Hey, you just mentioned you were able to take a month off, not even touch the internet. What are some of the things you're doing to automate your business that you can just walk away from it?
Well, one of the things, if anybody's ever emailed me, to get the mail slave. And
yes, I've got that.
People have conversations with the mail slave. The only one who's not nice to the mail slave is my brother, who abuses the mail slave. And he sends me emails. He gets really annoyed with this thing, but everybody else loves it, because the mail slave is this downtrodden character who, he's always on Kevin's off, or he calls me the master, any capital letters always. And I've had so many comments on that. People just love it, because one thing, it's kind of alleviates. It's humorous. It's kind of the way my whole business is, right? It's a tone I've always had in my business. I mean, I'm here to have fun. I built my business to have fun, not just to. It's not just, oh, I'm going to make money. It's like I'm going to do what I want to do. And the mail slave kind of embodies that, because he's like, it's kind of a fun, humorous thing. People like that, but also what they like is the fact that when it's an automatic send back to them. He contacts them, lets them know, oh yeah, Kevin's off hiking in the mountains of Switzerland. There's no internet in the mountains. I'm sorry, he won't be able to get a hold of you right away. And although he abuses me and treats me horribly, he takes really good care of his customers, and he will take care of you as soon as he gets home. And I'll tell you, one time we were 2 weeks trekking through the mountains, and I couldn't, this was a couple of years ago, we were in the Berner Oberland, and we were going from hut to hut to hut. 2 weeks, I didn't check in at all, ever, and I had launched a product before that, which, just crazy. And when I got back, there was a couple messages, because some people sometimes have a problem with a download or something like that, but, every one of them was like, they were cool with it, like, yeah, okay, I see, no problem. When you get back, it sends back a message. So that's just one of the things I do. It really makes a huge difference and allows me to just step away from the business, so I don't have to check emails there all the time and stuff like that.
Yeah, very good. Very cool. So maybe some people who are listening are like, what is a mail slave? Is this like a real person, or give us a little bit of the techie stuff behind it? What goes on there?
The funny thing is, everybody thinks it's like really high tech. It's just Gmail vacation response. That's all it is. It's so easy to set up, and it takes me like a couple of minutes to set it up, and then I go in there and spend a minute or two changing the message every once in a while, and that's it. It's really easy to implement, and a lot of things are. I mean, they're so simple, but people just don't think of it. And I've gotten so many people asking me about that. They're like, wow, how did you do that? You know, what kind of program are you using? I'm like, Gmail.
Yes, yes. Yes, I use vacation response as well when I go take a break. Vacation, I used it in Australia last year, and actually earlier this year, I was in Okinawa for 2 months. I don't know if you knew that, but I was actually working. I wasn't just being a bum for the whole 2 months, so I didn't have to use it. But yeah, it's the way you write, the mail slave email. It's quite amusing. So
Yeah, fun with it.
if you ever try to contact Kevin, you'll get a nice reply from his mail slave.
Yeah, the poor downtrodden fellow. I even found a picture years ago of you remember the Clash?
The band?
The band, the Clash, and
I think it's a little before my time.
yeah, it's quite a long time ago, punk rock group. But the Clash, Joe Strummer, he had these really long legs. He's sitting at this table with a typewriter, and he's looking at an old newspaper man, and he's answering a phone. And I used that image and said, this is my mail slave, right?
I see. Awesome.
So,
the best paid stuff maybe you have.
Also, it's a very effective tool to use in your business.
Yeah, very good, very good. Cool. Anything else you use to automate your business?
Yeah, well, things like, of course, Aweber. I'm sure you're probably using that too. I'm actually with my new business. I'm actually using Entreport, but that's not something really that beginners want to be using because it's like $300 a month or something like that. But that's going to really allow for a lot more automation. I mean, Aweber is great because it's like people come in. Aweber, GetResponse, any one of those, you can use it, and people come in, they sign up on your website, and it just automatically, you don't have to do anything, just automatically it's starting to send them emails. I like to send out a series of emails, so that it's kind of pre-selling people on the product, and then working up to where you're actually then selling them after they've been pre-sold. Things like that, it's all automated. Once you set it up once, and the way it goes. Using things like, I use JVZoo for a lot of my products for selling and the downloads. Well, again, I just have to set that up one time, and then it takes care of everything. You use JVZoo, DG Results, any one of those. I really like JVZoo. One of the reasons being because it's very tech-friendly. I don't know if you know Brian Zimmerman. He's the guy who's one of the guys who started JVZoo, but we had a conversation one day, and he was saying, he said, I built it because the way I would want it, because I'm just a total techno-dolt. And that's what makes it really easy for everybody to use. It's so simple to set up a product in there. So I use that, and then, of course, affiliates can use it to promote my products, and it takes care of all that. I don't have to worry about paying affiliates. The system automatically pays them, automatically puts money in my account, and automatically delivers the product to my customers. So, again, I don't have to be there.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, things have changed so much in the last few years online compared to when we first got started. We didn't have all these simple checkout systems like JVZoo, and Aweber was around, but I mean that's come a long way as well. And now there's Entreport that can do so many things. I mean, it's really easy to get started online. I think for people just starting out, because there's so much technology, and it's actually very easy to use. I mean, compared to years ago, it's so easy to get a product online, so easy to get a squeeze page online. Tools like lead pages or 1-minute sites. I mean, you don't even need a domain and hosting anymore. They're all hosted for you.
Sure. But even now, if you set up a domain in WordPress, we didn't used to have WordPress. I remember hand coding pages back in 1994 and uploading via Telnet and wondering if it was going to look like anything when it got there. And you couldn't see it ahead of time what it looked like. It'd be just absolutely gobbledygook, and something's missing here. I got to redo this. Now you've got WordPress, and I mean it's so easy to use. You've got just throw on a theme, start writing a post. You can write a post in a couple of minutes, and boom, it's up and online. You don't have to do anything. There's no uploading it by FTP or any of that kind of stuff. Forget that. Now it's just done automatically via WordPress itself.
Yeah.
It's become a lot easier from, say 10, even 10 years ago, 15 years ago, 18, 19 years ago when I first did it. It was
Mm.
very different. So,
Mm.
and we didn't have all the infrastructure back then, like Aweber and PayPal and all those things, and it just keeps becoming better and better.
Mm. Yeah, I mean, for anyone listening who's worried, you know, one of my concerns as well, 9 years, 8 or 9, how long ago? Probably 9 years ago. I've been here 10 years. I got started 1 year after I came here. So 9 years ago, one of my worries was like, um, is there room for me to, you know, go into this market, or is there, is it going to be, oh, what am I trying to say? Are people going to, yeah, exactly.
Yeah, yeah.
Is there going to be any room for me to enter this niche? Are people going to listen to me? And my websites aren't going to look as good as the experts, and my products might not be as good as the experts' products, and there's a lot of worries that newcomers have. But these days you can get a great looking site up easily. You can take payments automatically with ease. But I mean, it really just comes down to learning the process, how to do it. And that's what you're a master of, Kevin, with your products. Everything's step by step. The people who buy your products, your guides, it's like, you remember you used to call them recipes?
Yes, yeah.
You had a whole product line of recipes, blogging recipe, traffic recipe, and that's what they really are. The step by step, a recipe to, getting your final product, which is not a cake, but it's a website that
process takes sales. Basically, the process is about the same. That's why I called it the recipes.
Mm.
Yeah. It was just one day I had the ideas. I started off with that for sales pages because people have a hard time with sales pages, and I thought, but really, I mean, if you look at a sales page, it's a recipe. You need this, then you need this, then you need this, then you need this, and I thought, well, I can't really bring that as the first product because that's ridiculous. So I did the recipe for quick and easy product creation. That was back in the fall of 2006.
Very cool. Very cool. Now, I hear through the network and through the through the interwebs that you're releasing a new product very shortly. Can you tell us a little bit about that and how it's going to help people get started online?
Well, very shortly, actually tomorrow.
Yeah, that is.
Tomorrow, basically midnight over here, noon on a Monday in the eastern United States, which is what I usually use as my baseline, because that's where most people are. It's called the Unplugged and Making Money Workshop, and I wasn't going to do anything this summer because I'm really lazy, but I was talked into creating this workshop for the NAMS group, which is I'm a faculty member of. I can't go over there. I don't fly to the States much. I like going to Europe and Asia more. So I said, well, I'll tell you what, I'll create you a workshop. And it started off as something really simple, and then it became like, wait, we can make this really good. This is going to be a great workshop. And I think it took about 2 weeks put this all together, and then, well, a couple more weeks after that, all the finishing up work and getting it polished. But yeah, I created a workshop, and what it does is it walks you through one of the things we talked about, finding the niche. Very first thing that we look at, really important. And like you said, is it saturated? I think that if somebody's making money in a market, and I'm going to differentiate here, market, niche. Somebody's making money in a market, you want to be looking at it, and then you want to be looking at a niche, something really narrow. You want to get in there where you can get a foothold, and you can always expand out from there afterwards. And that's really important, and we go over that in the workshop. In fact, during the workshop, I show an example. I actually reveal my next business, which I haven't revealed anywhere else. I do reveal parts of it in my workshop and show the process of how I go through that and how I go through the niche and developing what I will do in the niche, and then branding myself. And when we talk about branding in there, we go over the whole branding process, because we want to brand the business so that people know why your products are better than others, or why it's something that it should be into. So we go from finding a niche to, and a niche, with the niche I actually go over the 3 pillars. It's a 3-pillar process I use. I'll go over that in the workshop. Very important to make sure you get a niche that not only makes money, but it's good for you, because every person is going to be different. Every market out there is going to be different as to what they should be getting into, what kind of niche should be getting into. So we go over all that. Then we brand the business. And I'm not talking Coca-Cola branding. We haven't got that kind of budget, but you can brand yourself inside your niche, very narrow, and really become the person that's well known in that niche. So go over that, and then from there, setting up the infrastructure for the business. That's really important. The whole infrastructure, what I did was I modeled this whole workshop on how my business is built, which is so I can take off, go to Europe. My wife and I like to go to Switzerland. We went last year to Switzerland. We went to my hometown and rented a chalet there. Then we spent 3 weeks there hiking. Then we went off to Geneva, and then we flew up to Helsinki and spent a couple days in Helsinki, and wandered around Finland. So being able to do that kind of thing to me is very important, and that's the way I set up my business. So I have that time off, whether you just want time with family or whatever. So you're not always having to babysit your business, because I've done that with offline businesses and really hated it. You're always at beck and call of your business. You become a slave to your business. One thing we really work on in avoiding and setting up all the infrastructure in that part of the workshop, that's what makes sure you can avoid all that. You can just walk away and enjoy yourself, and come back, check in on your business after a couple of weeks, and not have to worry about it. It's still going to be making you a great income while you're off on holiday, like going down to Okinawa for a couple of months. After that, we actually go through, I'll take you through sitting down and creating a preliminary product line. We're looking at creating products, and people go, creating products, this has just gotten difficult. No, creating simple info products, and I'm going to show you exactly how to do that. It's really, really easy. I mean, you can create simple how-to guides. I've created them in an afternoon. In fact, one of my most popular ones, one of the biggest sellers quite a few years ago, was done in an afternoon. I wrapped it up and finished in 4 hours, and that thing sold hundreds and hundreds of copies. So it doesn't take a lot of work. What I'm going to do is I'm going to walk you through then creating your first product. Every little thing, and you'll have all the templates and everything that you need. I create templates so you just kind of have to fill in the information, but the template's already there to give you a really professional looking product, which is what you want. You want a professional product. You don't want something that looks like it's just slapped together, and that's another thing that will show you how to do. And then, really important, is setting up the whole pre-selling. What we've done here is a little different from what I've done before in my previous workshops, is really focusing on a pre-selling funnel. And it's really, really important, and it's what I'm implementing in my business, and I want people to be implementing their business, because it's like bringing in the traffic into this pre-selling funnel and getting your leads from cold to hot to, I want to buy your product, and we're actually going on the next step to, I want to buy a lot of your products. What you're going to be doing is building a business with long term. You can rely on this for the rest of your life to create an income for you, and it's just going to get better and better as you add more products to it. So then the other thing is, of course, getting traffic. At the end, we go over a couple of ideas, a couple of ways that you can get traffic into your funnel, and how it's going to be different for different niches. I mean, every niche is going to be different as to where it will work best. But basically, that's the workshop walks you through building the kind of business like I have, so you can walk away and take off for holidays and enjoy them, things like that.
Yeah, very good. And I mean, it sounds like you're creating a pretty much big overall course that teaches everything from the very beginning to the end. You mentioned traffic generation strategies, and do you give examples of what traffic generation strategy would work with this niche, like in specific detail, and then talk about other niches, what traffic generation strategies you can use for that?
Well, basically, I'm showing, for examples, I'm really showing exactly what I'm using with mine, and not in internet marketing, with my other business, and what's working there. And then, yeah, I mean, I obviously I can't cover every niche. There's so many out there, but giving you ideas. And also, there is, you know, once you're in the workshop, if you have a question, you know, if sometimes people go, well, okay, I got this niche and it's like totally different, and I really, you know, is this going to work or is this going to work? Yeah, there's a contact form on there, so you can email me and ask me. It's as simple as that.
And as you can see, Kevin's a real person, even though he doesn't shave very often. He does reply to his emails, and he is approachable, and he's kind of a nice guy as well.
Thanks.
After he has a highball or two, yeah.
Yeah, got to get up to Tokyo and have a couple with you again soon.
Definitely. I'd love to go down to Osaka and hang out with you and the other guys down there as well.
Yeah, Osaka's a fun city.
Yeah, well, if your product launch goes well tomorrow, maybe you can shout my Shinkansen ticket down. But so it's launching tomorrow. In about, well, from now it would be about 28 hours from now if it's midnight our time, which will be Monday morning US time.
Yeah, Monday noon.
Monday noon.
Eastern Daylight Time.
All right. So anyone who's on my list watching this, I'm going to be telling you about Kevin's new product with an email as soon as it goes live. So watch out for that. And I believe it's running a dime sale. So
get in early.
It gets the worm. I guess we'll keep the price secret, but I think Kevin has price. I think I remember the price, but it's very, very affordable, and you definitely want to think about it seriously if you're serious about starting an internet business. Very well worth investment. All of Kevin's products, I have promoted them before, and I've actually bought some myself and used them. I've always found they're top quality and deliver extreme value. Never even thought about getting a refund. They always over-delivered. Like I said, very comprehensive, step-by-step. And if you do happen to get stuck, if Kevin's screenshots aren't clear enough for you, then go email him, and he'll get back to you. He's really there to help, and he's a good person to work with. So that's cool, man. Looking forward to it. I'll be chatting with you about it, asking you how it goes, and if it does a lot of sales, yeah, I'll be telling you when I'm coming down to Osaka.
All right.
But yeah, thanks again for your time tonight. Hate to bug you on the weekend.
Perfect.
Good timing. All right. Well, any final thoughts to wrap up, mate?
No, that's it. Like you were saying about the price, your prices. I always keep my prices really low. I mean, I've actually gotten in trouble with what's his name, Joyner, Mark Joyner. He actually sent me a tweet a couple years ago saying your price is way too low and all that. I figure a reasonable price, something that people. I know when you're starting out, you don't always spend a lot of money, right? And you can't afford sometimes to spend a lot of money on. So I like helping people. I like hearing how people do. And in fact, hey, anybody after you've done the workshop and you built your business, please. I'm always happy to hear what happened and what you built, because I see some really interesting businesses getting built. And I've had one guy who does the thing for visas for bringing people in from China. He's built a business. It was a couple of years ago. He used one of my products. And stuff like that. It's just like, wow, I never even thought about that. It is so interesting. So I guess some really interesting things I like to hear from people. So please do let me know what you build. Okay.
Awesome. Okay, well, let's wrap it up.
All
It's
right.
been a good call. Thanks again. And all those people on my list and around the interwebs, look out for Kevin's new product. And the title again is...
Unplugged and making money.
That's right. So you can build a business and not have to be plugged into the internet, take off. That's the business you kind of want. That's the kind of business you want. That's the business we have, and it's the greatest. So look out for the email from me. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks again, Kevin.
All right. Thanks, Stu. See ya.
See you later.